Hello everyone, and let's talk about how AI is reshaping work and our expectations about it. There was a recent study on Harvard Business Review that I specifically want to focus on. It was an 8-month field study inside a 200-person US tech company. And it had three takeaways that the authors present as surprising, unexpected, something that they did not anticipate. Namely, that work does not decrease but expands as AI lowers friction. That secondary, so that's first. Second, that work bleeds across time boundaries as tasks become easier to start. So that's two. And there's also more multitasking as people are running parallel work threads. So the authors were pretty surprised by this. They're saying, well, AI is supposed to decrease work, but it's actually increasing work. And I have to say, I fundamentally disagree with the views of these authors, and I think their conclusions are mistaken about the implications of what AI was supposed to do. I think their observations are valid, but their interpretations are not. These results, they should not have seen them as a surprise. And from my work with many firms trying to adopt generative AI, that's exactly what I've seen in other firms, and that's exactly what the scientists should have expected. It talks, honestly, to their lack of real-world experience and expertise with AI adoption. So the task expansion that we see with people doing more things, more varied things, going across disciplines and across time boundaries, actually, that's what we've seen with all the other previous major technology adoptions. It's the basic mechanisms of automation and task reallocation. And so people are not doing less stuff, they're doing more diverse things that previously they weren't able to do. So AI is absorbing lower level and monotonous work. Employees are shifting toward higher level judgment, cross-functional execution, coordination, and they're working on more tasks because they're able to accomplish more projects when AI is taking on some lower level, more monotonous, automatable tasks within their pre-existing projects. So what leaders and just professionals are seeing is a burst of more rapid work alongside the need for stronger operating norms to manage the situation. So the researchers, here's what the researchers observed, just to be clear. So 200 workers, I mentioned that. What they found is that employees used AI to push work into more hours of the day. So they spent more hours working, not necessarily more work altogether, but more hours working, presumably because they were able to do work more effectively across that time, maybe some of the time that AI does take some time to process things, so they might not have been working quite as much during the time that they were working. They might have been waiting for AI to process things. The findings show that task expansion and boundary creep follow human activities and human curiosity. So there is task expansion, people are doing more things, and boundary creep between various tasks, various fields. People are multitasking more. So people are running several work threads, and work is bleeding across time boundaries because tasks are easier to start and easier to continue. Now, when you're doing something that's not like hard mental labor, but just prompting the AI to do something during a certain time period, you can do it more frequently and during more periods of the day. So the organizational pace and expectations are changing across the entire company. And there's no question that this increases productivity, this increases efficiency and effectiveness. By efficiency, I mean the ability to use less resources to get the same things done, and effectiveness meaning the ability to do more things, to do better things with the same amount of resources. And really that's the essence of innovation, better effectiveness and better efficiency. And so that's great for productivity, but it is a threat to pipelines, so young workers. AI is great at junior level tasks like research, triage, routine reporting, routine analysis of data. So workers who are aged 22 to 25 saw a 16% relative decline in sector employment in areas with high AI exposure. So this is definitely something that needs to be a topic of concern, because removing easy work risks creating a career ladder with missing rungs. Leaders must work to redesign entry paths to preserve deliberate learning loops for junior folks. For example, the apprenticeship rotation that help recreate the training opportunities that grunt work handled by AI now once provided. So that is the concern that you should be concerned about entry-level jobs. But otherwise, what the authors found, the expansion of time and so on, that's not surprising, that's expected, and that's good in terms of productivity and people doing much more interesting things, believe me, than the kind of monotonous grunt work that they were previously handling. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you checked out the show and leave a review. It helps other people discover the show and helps us improve the show. And if you have any questions, email me at Gleb, Gleb, at disasteravoidanceexperts.com.